Winter Orb is getting more and more popular recently, which is raised the question how you can level up till Winter Orb since Rolling Magma got nerfed. Today we will go over my fast and easy leveling method that you can use for my Winter Orb Elementalist League starter. What's up guys, Pidget here. As every character you starting on Act 1 and right after you killing Hillock and you entering town, you want to take Kinetic Bolt and Prismatic Burst support gem that will cost you a Wisdom Scroll. Check the vendor for Iron Ring and Movement Speed Boots. Now you can start Act 1. Do as you wish, the route is not set in stone. Complete Mudflat quest breaking some eggs and proceed to Submerge Passage. Teleport back to town and get Frostblink and Flame Wall as quest reward. Purchase Shield Charge and Faster Attack. Faster Attack now available for every single cast in the game from the start. And also you need to buy Holy Flame Totem. Proceed further till you reach the prison. Use the waypoint, get back to town and get Undead Lightning and Undead Cold Damage supports. You can now swap out the Prismatic Burst support gem. After you killing Brutus, go back to town and get Precision from the vendor. Fast forward, you will reach the Caverns of Red. Take the waypoint back to town once again and buy Power Siphon and Flame Lash. You can now swap out Frostblink and Kinetic Bolt to Power Siphon. Now you set for the rest of the act. Act 2 is now open. You want to reach Chamber of Sins and kill the boss there and take the quest item. Teleport back to town and take Herald of Ice as the reward and buy Herald of Thunder. Your next goal is reach the Weaver's Chamber. Kill the spider there and go back to town, and this quest is opens up the Sacred with support gem. Swap out all that cold damage for it. Later on, if you get lucky with a 4 link, you can take increased critical damage support as your 4th link. Your links from now will not change anymore, and now we can complete Act 2. We are arriving at Act 3. At level 28 halfway through, you will unlock Winter Orb. This is where you need to make a decision. It's up to you what you really want, and I will tell you what I also was doing in my test run. In theory, after you completed your first labyrinth, so you were getting the Golem buffs, right? So here the Legend of the Primordial, and you also getting the Golem Commander. At this level, you could also swap to Winter Orb entirely. In the PoB, this section is called Early Swap, because this is literally swapping right after the first labyrinth. But in my testing, I was swapped at level 55, because at that level, as you can see here, you unlocking your next Ascendancy node, the Shaper of Storms, and also your tree is a little bit more developed, and also you will getting much better crit chance and crit damage multipliers, and also little spell damage, reservation, elemental damage, power charge scaling. So in my opinion, I think this will be a sweet spot, unless Winter Orb in the early game absolutely busted. But when I was testing Winter Orb leveling, I was a little bit struggled on level 28 mark, and even after I got my golems, I was not really happy about it. So that's why I think level 55 is the sweet spot. And also, you have to know, if the leveling is kinda feeling bad, then the build will doesn't matter really if it's good or not, because in the first few hours you will need to struggle a little bit, and then you will feel bad, right? So that's why I say there is an early and there is a late swap as well. So personally, if I have to choose, I will swap at level 55 after I completed my second labyrinth. This is my opinion. And if you sticking to my leveling process, then you will reach level 55 with Power Siphon and the Sacred Wisp support, as we was mentioning early on. Your links is not really changing, by the way, at this level. So basically the only addition is literally just elemental weakness and the golems, all of the golems, so Ice Golem, Flame Golem, Lightning Golem and Stone Golem, because all of these ones is granting you crit, life regen, aura effect, damage, attack and cast speed, so many goodies that is very viable in the early levels and also in the late game as well. So that's why I think, guys, this will be the sweet spot once again. If you have any preferred method to level up, feel free to use that one. I just sharing my my finds or my knowledge about this, and this is how I will do on the league start day. And of course, guys, once again, just do as you wish. That is the most important thing, because if you not have fun, if you're saying, yeah, Power Siphon is not looking too good for me, I will level up Essence Rain or whatever, or Kinetic Fusilade as well, because I saw Jangrun was leveling with Kinetic Fusilade. It was looking good as well, but honestly, it was a little bit clunky for me, in my opinion. But that is once again what you prefer, right? So that is the most important part, guys. If you don't have fun, then it's not matters how broken something if you're not enjoying it. It doesn't matter if you're swapping early on or later on. I don't know if you know, guys, but there is two available granulated 5 link in the campaign while you're doing it. So I just want to raise your attention on this one once again, because that was for some people it was very surprising. So your first granulated 5 link is at Act 5 in the Slave Pens. You need to complete the current league mechanic, and when you're completing it, you basically dropping granulatedly the 5 link. And the second 5 link is at Act 6 and on the Twilight Strand, same as the before. You need to complete the league mechanic there, and basically you will dropping a 5 link. And a fun fact about this, guys, if you're doing solo self-found standard run, that is not applies in here because there is no league mechanic. So basically, guys, if you planning to just do a few test run and you're trying to get a 5 link, you will not getting it. It doesn't matter what league mechanic or what mechanic is spawning inside Twilight Strand or the Slave Pens. I was doing Abyss as well. It was not granted me the 5 link. I was doing a Breach. It was not granting that one as well. It's a very, very fun fact if you're trying to do that. But if you're doing in the Mirage solo self-found, then it will be definitely will be there. I just wanted to raise your attention on this matter because that will speed up your progression significantly. And also you have to know with the socket color changes, it really doesn't matter what body armor you're dropping unless it's very, very high attribute requirement. Good luck on that one, guys. I hope you will getting something useful there. And also I want to talk about a little bit when after you completing your campaign, where you progressing and what is your end game could look like, and your mid game as well, because I this time I also plan, guys, not only the early game, include a stepping stone between the super expensive uber end game version and the, you know, very, very cheap version, and that is the Mind Over Matter setup version, and Mind Over Matter and also the Eldritch Battery. So basically, as you can see here, this will be have a very decent amount of damage as well, and also very nice maximum hit and armor, recovery as well, life regen as well, block chance almost kept. So I think this will be a pretty damn decent one to just, you know, do juice maps and do like boss rushing or just kill pinnacle bosses. I'm not saying it's super cheap, but it's decently cheap if you're comparing to other Winter Orb versions, because honestly majority of them is planning to swap to Occultist, and we will not swap to Occultist at any point because we will start stacking the Primordial Bond cluster jewels, and we will going ham on the Golem buffs as well, and later on in the Uber endgame version we will using another minion cluster as well. So that's why I think this is very nice to include in the stepping stone POB as well, because when you're getting this one and this one, this is literally you already progressing your super endgame version as well, right? Although we using a few, I would say maybe expensive kind, I don't know, it's you know, it's very hard to talk about prices. I'm very, very flexible about all of this stuff, so I just wanted to include the stepping stone between the super endgame version and the very cheap early game version, but more about this in a full build guide, because this is more like just for the leveling, right? This is how I will level up my Winter Orb Elementalist League Starter on Friday at the League Start Day. And once again, guys, it's up to you which one you prefer, and I'm not saying this is the best, because there is, of course, there is always a better, maybe, you know, a much faster method, but you know, I'm not a speedrunner. I just you know, was doing like this, and this is what I was landed on. So it's up to you if you know, using this one as your leveling guide or not. I will definitely use this one. Till then, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any question or any suggestion how we can go even a little bit faster or much efficient with the leveling, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/project2 or here in YouTube as well, because I also started streaming here. Till then, thanks for watching. I was Pujet. See you next time.